Let's go ahead and create a piece of content, and let's call this one my first piece of content. Let's go ahead and now create the actual text. This is my first piece of content. Now, if we were to leave things just at that point, and we were going to go ahead, we could preview this at this juncture. Let's click on preview. This is what it looks like. It's a very simple piece of text content. Let's go ahead and save it. Let's go back to the tab in our browser here where we have the platform. Now you'll notice that the text does not show up. Let's refresh the window. And what you'll notice is that we now have created a piece of content. Now let's just go back and create a second piece of content. So let's go to New Post. Let's go ahead and type in this. This is next. I've created one piece of content. Here is another. I am going to make this one a little longer. Let's save this. Now, in the terminology of using blogging tools like Blogger or WordPress or TypePad, we call these posts. You're posting content. Let's do something a little bit interesting. Let's go ahead and insert a graphic here so that we can make this content a little bit more engaging, a little bit more exciting. Now, as you'll notice here, this is a pretty standard word processing type of a structure as far as the menu goes. We could, for example, take $10,000, block it, and click on bold. We could go ahead and take the words by June and underline it. You may, for example, want to create a bulleted list of items. Our plans are to, let's say, bullet, have a fundraising party at the town pool. And our second item will be maybe to develop 3 PSAs, public service announcements. And so again, as you can see, we're using almost a simple word processing type of tool to make our content look. Let's go ahead and insert a graphic. This tool right here, if you hover, it'll say insert an image. So we'll click on that. And let's go ahead and choose an image. Let's browse for something. Now, I have already downloaded onto my desktop an image called Fundraising Goal. And let's go ahead and insert that image and take a look at what it looks like. Now, it's often hard within this little box to really know how things are going to look on the platform. So let's again use the preview tool. And here's what we've got. You may decide to yourself that the image is too large. In some cases, you actually will be able to work with the image right within this screen. You could click on the image, and you could just resize it right here at this point, making it smaller. You may decide that you'd like this image, in fact, to show up all the way at the top left-hand corner next to the text. And to do that, you would double-click on the image in this case, and it brings up a menu that you can use to modify the image. In this case, we're talking about having the image up towards the top left. We could choose top right as well. Say, that looks kind of good. Let's go with that. Close that. Let's go ahead and preview. And as you can see, things are looking a little bit different right now. Let's go ahead and save it and take a look at what it would actually look like on the platform itself. So here is where we were before. Let's refresh our page. And there you go. Your first post, our goal, with the text you entered and the graphic. Let's go ahead and enter another post, another piece of content. So our goal, this is all finished. We have saved it. I'm one for saving things extra times. Depends on how comfortable you are. When you're working online, often you want to really go to extra lengths to always save your work. I will often, in fact, create my posts, my content, the text portion, in a word processing tool while not online, and then cut and paste it into the tool. So let's go ahead and create a new post. This new post we might title Our Message. We're going to just type in some very simple text. Watch this video to get some tips on the messages we want to use in the campaign. Well, what I've done earlier is I went to YouTube and I looked for a video. There are a lot of pieces of material out there on the web that you can use yourself. That image, for example, that I took earlier was available out on the web. I basically used Google and I said fundraising image and was able to find this image. Of course, you need to make sure that it's legal to use some of these images. In most cases, there'll be notification if it isn't. So I went to YouTube, did type in environmental protection, and this is one of the videos I came across, and I took a moment to watch it. I noticed there were some nice facts. In many programs out there, like YouTube, many sources of content, you have the capability to do what's called embedding, and you can see here the word embed. There is some code, and if you click on it, it'll become blue. You could go ahead and copy that code, and we're going to do that in a moment. But let's get a little fancy. If we go back to our platform and we take a look at our color scheme, we chose green. Over here we can see there is a green choice for a bar, and as you can see down here, this has just turned green. I'll change it to blue, then to green. Maybe I'll put a border around it. Now each time I change these things, this code over here will also change. You can see 455 by 364, which is the size. I could change it to be larger. Let's go with this kind of medium size. I'm now going to copy the code. It is going to be this size, 500 by 405 pixels. It will have a green border, as you can see right over here. I'm now going to go back to the back end, and I'm going to go into the post itself. In this box that we've been using, that's called a rich text format, and what that means is you're using these tools like a word processor. However, when you go to places like YouTube, you'll be grabbing what's called code, HTML code. When you go back to the platform, there is an Edit HTML code tab, and if you click on that, you will still see here the text, the raw text. Back over here, let's go ahead to the end of the text. Let's bring our cursor down a few spaces. And let's go ahead and paste this long text from YouTube that showed up on the YouTube platform when we specified borders and what video we wanted. Now let's go back to rich text. What you will notice is you cannot see anything here. You may suspect code never made it in. However, it quite possibly did. Go ahead and preview. Let's take a look here, and there you will see that this video that we were watching on YouTube is now within your post.